Ireland in 1920 was a nation teetering on the brink. The Irish War of Independence, a brutal guerrilla conflict, raged between the Irish Republican Army and British forces. The IRA, fighting for complete independence, employed guerrilla tactics against the better-equipped British Army. The British government, determined to maintain control over Ireland, deployed various forces to quell the rebellion. Among them were the Black and Tans, a ruthless paramilitary police force notorious for its brutality against Irish civilians. The Auxiliary Division, composed of former British Army officers, also gained a reputation for ruthlessness. Tensions escalated throughout 1920. The IRA, led by Michael Collins's intelligence network, targeted British intelligence operatives. The British responded with harsh reprisals, further inflaming the situation. This cycle of violence set the stage for a day that would forever be etched in Irish history: Bloody Sunday. November 21st, 1920, dawned like any other Sunday in Dublin. However, beneath the surface of normalcy, a carefully planned operation was about to unfold. Michael Collins, the IRA's Director of Intelligence, had devised a daring plan to cripple British intelligence operations in Ireland. Collins's squad, a unit of IRA volunteers, received orders to assassinate key figures within the British intelligence network. These targets, ranging from high-ranking officers to informants, represented a direct threat to the IRA's operations and the broader independence movement. In the early hours of that fateful Sunday, the squad fanned out across Dublin, targeting individuals in their homes and lodgings. The operation, carried out with efficiency, sent shockwaves through the British administration in Ireland. As news of the assassinations spread, a palpable tension gripped Dublin. Unaware of the morning's events, thousands of people flocked to Croke Park, the home of Gaelic games. Dublin was scheduled to play Tipperary in a one-off challenge match, the proceeds of which were in aid of the Republican Prisoners' Dependence Fund. The atmosphere was festive, a brief respite from the ongoing conflict. Shortly after 3 in the afternoon, a convoy of British forces, including members of the Auxiliary Division and Black and Tans, arrived outside Croke Park. Whether acting on direct orders or driven by a thirst for revenge, the armed forces stormed into the stadium. Chaos erupted as gunfire ripped through the air. Panicked spectators scrambled for cover, the festive atmosphere transforming into a scene of terror. When the shooting finally stopped, 14 innocent Irish people lay dead, including players and spectators. Dozens more were wounded. The carnage at Croke Park was not the final act of violence on that bloody Sunday. Later that evening, British forces arrested 3 Irish men, Dick McKee, Peter Clancy and Conor Clune. The men were taken to Dublin Castle, the nerve centre of British power in Ireland. Held in custody, the 3 men endured hours of brutal interrogation and torture. Their captors sought information about the IRA's operations and the whereabouts of key figures like Michael Collins. Despite the horrific treatment, the 3 men remained defiant. In a tragic turn of events, McKee, Clancy and Clune were shot dead inside Dublin Castle. The British authorities claimed the men were killed during an escape attempt. However, the circumstances of their deaths, coupled with the evidence of torture, pointed to a cold-blooded execution. Global outrage and escalating violence. The aftermath of Bloody Sunday. The events of Bloody Sunday sent shockwaves through Ireland and reverberated around the world. Newspapers condemned the Croke Park massacre as a barbaric act of indiscriminate violence against Irish civilians. The British government faced a wave of international criticism, further damaging its already tarnished reputation. Within Ireland, Bloody Sunday poured fuel on the raging fire of the War of Independence. The IRA, fueled by a desire for revenge, intensified its campaign against British forces. The British government, determined to crush the rebellion, implemented harsher measures, including increased raids, arrests, and executions. However, the brutality of Bloody Sunday only served to strengthen the resolve of the Irish people and their fight for independence. Remembering the victims' commemorations and the long shadow of trauma. In the decades since that fateful Sunday, the events of Bloody Sunday have continued to cast a long shadow over Ireland. The victims, both those killed at Croke Park and those who died in the subsequent violence, are remembered as martyrs for Irish freedom. Every year on November 21st, commemorations are held across Ireland to remember the victims and reflect on the legacy of Bloody Sunday. At Croke Park, a poignant ceremony takes place, honouring those who lost their lives on that hallowed ground. The trauma of Bloody Sunday, however, extends far beyond the immediate families of the victims. The indiscriminate killing of innocent Irish civilians left an indelible mark on the Irish psyche. The quest for justice, unanswered questions, and the weight of history. Despite the passage of time, many questions surrounding Bloody Sunday remain unanswered. The families of victims continue to seek justice, demanding a full accounting of what transpired on that tragic day and accountability for those responsible. The British government, for its part, has never issued a formal apology for the Croke Park massacre. While some inquiries and investigations have taken place over the years, many argue that a full and independent inquiry is needed to uncover the truth. The weight of history hangs heavy over Bloody Sunday. The events of that day serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked state violence and the importance of truth. The McCormack case, a microcosm of conflict and contradiction. The case of Captain Patrick McCormack, one of the individuals assassinated by the IRA on Bloody Sunday, adds another layer of complexity to the events of that day. McCormack, an Irishman and veteran of World War I, was killed at the Gresham Hotel in Dublin. The IRA accused McCormack of being a British intelligence officer involved in espionage against the Republican movement. His family denied these allegations, maintaining his innocence and demanding justice for his death. The British government, recognizing the sensitivity of the case, awarded McCormack's family a substantial sum in compensation. This act, however, further fueled tensions, with the Irish government refusing to contribute, citing evidence of McCormack's alleged involvement with British intelligence. Bloody Sunday's enduring legacy, a turning point in Irish history. Bloody Sunday stands as a pivotal event in Irish history, a bloody turning point in the struggle for independence. The horrific massacre at Croke Park left an indelible mark on the Irish psyche and the course of Anglo-Irish relations. The brutality of Bloody Sunday shattered any remaining illusions of a peaceful resolution to the conflict. It galvanized support for the IRA today. Bloody Sunday serves as a stark reminder of the violence against the Irish. It is a day that should never be forgotten, one that should also serve as a call to action to ensure that Ireland remains Irish, which the Sleeveens in the Irish government today are so eager to give away. List of the Croke Park victims murdered by the Brits: Jane Boyle, 26, Dublin James Burke, 44, Dublin Daniel Carroll, 31, Tipperary, died the 23rd of November, Michael Feary, 40, Dublin Michael Mick Hogan, 24, Tipperary Tom Hogan, 19, Limerick, died the 26th of November, James Matthews, 38, Dublin Patrick O'Dowd, 57, Dublin Jerome O'Leary, 10, Dublin William Robinson, 11, Dublin, died the 22nd of November, Tom Ryan, 27, Wexford John William Scott, 14, Dublin James Tehan, 26, Tipperary Joe Trainer, 21, Dublin. If you found this interesting, please like, share, comment and subscribe. Until next time, Sláinte.